The pros and cons of using Infinity-free web hosting. Let's begin. What's up, everybody? My name is David. I hope you're having a great day. Now, Infinity-free.com provides a completely free web hosting plan that you can use to install WordPress and use their website builder and whatnot. And they made my list, they topped my list of the best free web hosting plans if you're looking for a traditional free web host. Traditional meaning like PHP, CSS, installing scripts like WordPress, the server side of things. Now, I actually created a website with both WordPress and the website builder with Infinity-free.com. So what are the pros and cons from someone who's actually used this platform to build a website? Let's begin. The first pro and the biggest advantage in my opinion is that you can set up a completely free WordPress website with Infinity-free.com. That means you can have a custom domain name and an SSL certificate with a WordPress installation, your own themes and plugins on a completely free web hosting plan without any catch. The next thing is that the free plan from Infinity Free is just that, it's actually free. There's no credit card required. All you do is sign up and create your account and you're good to go with installing your custom domain name or using a subdomain and installing WordPress and building out your websites. So there's no catch like other free web hosts where you have to have maybe like a credit card on file for them to charge, or you have to log in every month, or your site gets turned off, or there's some type of hidden fee and so forth. There's no bloats once you install WordPress with Infinity-free.com. That means there's no like Infinity-free plugin that takes over the WordPress installation like you have with Bluehost and Hostinger when you install your website, where it comes with a bunch of plugins already installed and themes and you have to go manually through everything and delete everything. Not so with Infinity-free.com. You install WordPress via Softalicious and then it's a nice clean installation of WordPress. You can create a staging site with Infinity-free.com, that's great. So there are plugins that allow you to do this if you have a WordPress website to create a staging site, but because you have access to Softalicious on the backend to install scripts, well, once you have your WordPress installation set up via Softalicious, you can create a staging site of your website. That's important because like maybe you have a live website, you want to make changes to it, but you don't want to touch the live website. Well, that's what staging is for. It allows you to create changes to a website and then merge those changes that you made over to a live website. So that's ideal. Like maybe you break your website, you break the code, you do something wrong. We can just delete the staging site and start over. Anyways, with Infinity-free.com, you can set up staging. You have access to cPanel, File Manager, and htaccess with your hosting account. This is quite important because if you want to have access to these specific files, maybe you want to verify your website with like Google AdSense or Search Console, you want to verify ownership in some way, or you just want the ability to customize specific files of your like WordPress installation directly. That's why you want to have access to these different features within your hosting account. No forced ads on your website. And this is a big deal as well, because the way a lot of free web hosts make money is that you can set up your website, but then you need to show display ads that the free web host is getting paid when people view those ads. Not so with Infinity-free.com. You're not forced to run any type of ads on your website. Now, of course, you can apply to AdSense and run AdSense ads or whatever ad network you want on your own website. You're just not forced to run Infinity-free.com ads on your site or ads that benefit Infinity-free.com. Instant account setup. So with Infinity-free.com, you just sign up and you're good to go. So you have your account, you can start building out websites with either a subdomain or a custom domain name. There's no account setup time, there's no waiting time, there's no like account approval where you have to sit around and wait for like 3 days for your account to be approved. None of that with Infinity-free.com. In the last, you get 5 gigabytes of disk space and unlimited bandwidth, and that translates into maybe 100 to 300 visitors a day max to your website before you start hitting any type of resource limit, which is quite generous. Now, is Infinity-free.com with their free web hosting offer perfect? Of course not. It's a free web host. So here are the cons that you need to know about. It's a little tricky to set up WordPress with Infinity-free.com, which is why I make these tutorial videos. So the way it works with Infinity-free.com is that you set up and create your account, then you can add on a custom domain name. Now you want to wait around for your custom domain name to propagate once you set up the name servers properly. And that's going to take like maybe 6 to 10 hours or so. You just want to set everything up and then go get a cup of coffee and then come back later. Once your domain name has properly propagated, then you want to issue your website an SSL certificate. That's the next step. And that's very easy to do, but once you issue the SSL certificate, again, it's a waiting game, so you want to wait 1 to 2 hours for that to work. Then finally, you're ready to install WordPress via Softlicious. And when you're installing WordPress via Softlicious, even if you have an SSL certificate already issued for your website, when you're in Softlicious, it's going to give that big warning saying, oh no, the SSL certificate is not detected. You're going to think you did something wrong, and you did everything correctly. So that's what I mean, like it's a little techie to set up because you have to know what you're doing. So you want to make sure that you're selecting HTTPS, ignore that warning that the SSL certificate is not detected, make sure you select the correct domain name, not the subdomain, and then go through the process of installing WordPress with Softlicious. So overall, it's not too difficult, but if you're a complete beginner who's never dealt with like cPanel and Softlicious and installing websites and certificates and custom domain names, it is a little overwhelming because you just don't know what to do next. So I will be creating a shorter, more focused WordPress website tutorial to go along with my longer form tutorial for Infinity Free. Another quick con is that you can't have custom emails, so you can't have like hello@mywebsite.com. And support is limited to forums and YouTube tutorial videos like mine about how to use Infinity Free. So if you're looking for high quality responsive support, well, you're not going to get it with Infinity Free, which I think is a fair trade-off given that it's a completely free platform. There are strict resource limits, so while I said earlier that you can have like 100 to 300 visitors a day, that's really like max. And 300 visitors is absolute max if you have a very light optimized website. Overall, I think it's more reasonable to expect like 100 to 200, that kind of range. But again, it depends on how you build your website. Is it really image and text and video heavy, or is it like light and optimized? It really just depends on what you're building. But overall, this is a platform for low traffic websites, and you will hit resource limits quite easily. Slow speeds and average uptime. So what are you going to expect? It's a free host. So I ran the website that I built through Pingdom, and it came back at 8 seconds to load. So that was based in America. 8 seconds. That's incredibly slow. Like you want your website to be loading between 1 to 3 seconds max. 3 seconds, absolute max. Ideally like 1 second or less. 8 seconds, that is way too long. But again, it just depends on how you build the website. So the test website that I built is a bit image heavy, but it's kind of realistic and reasonable about like what you would want to build with your website, where it's like beautifully designed and lots of images and text and different blocks and things going on the homepage. So in short, just know that you're not getting like lightning fast web hosting with this platform. While there's no force ads on your website when you're logged into your hosting account, there are a ton of display ads in the dashboard. And finally, the website builder offer that they promote on the homepage is not really that usable if you're looking for like a free website builder, if you're looking for a free alternative to WordPress. So while you can build your website for free using the website builder, once you publish your website, you're going to have a big banner for Site Pro sitting at the very top of your website. So it's similar to Wix. Like you can build a free Wix website, but Wix is going to have a big banner at the top promoting Wix. Well, the website builder from Site Pro is the same thing. You're going to have a big banner at the top of your website promoting Site Pro. And to get rid of it, you're going to have to upgrade your account. And it's not upgrading your account at your web host, it's upgrading to a paid Site Pro plan. So overall, if I was to use infinityfree.com for a real world purpose, I think I would use it for sales pages. So if you have access to like say Thrivecart or Samcart and you have your digital products and you want to create a dedicated sales page using WordPress, well, infinityfree.com is a great free option to do exactly that. All right, everyone, that's it for this video on the pros and cons of using infinityfree.com to build a website with. Now, overall, I do recommend Hostinger if you're looking for a traditional shared host at an affordable rate where you can have a custom domain name, an SSL certificate, multiple websites, good support, and good hosting speeds and uptime. Anyways, I'll leave it there. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe and hit that like button. My name is David. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.